The Holy Family returned to the city of Bethlehem. A woman was living there whose son was tormented by Satan. He used to bite all who came near him, and if he found no one, he would bite his own hands and limbs. One Saturday, the mother of this wretched creature, hearing of the fame of Mary, went to meet her. In the meantime, Joseph had taken the child Jesus, 4 years old, to play with some other children at the Jordan's bed. The demoniac came up and sat down on Jesus' right hand. Being attacked by Satan, he wanted to bite Jesus, but wasn't able to. Nevertheless, he struck him in the right side, and Jesus began to weep. Immediately Satan went forth out of that body, fleeing like a mad dog. The boy who struck Jesus was named Judas Iscariot, who would follow him many years later. The child Jesus then made himself 7 clay pools. One of the children, moved with envy, shut the passages that supplied the pools with water. Jesus said, "Most wicked iniquities see, death's son, Satan's workshop. What did the water do to you? Watch, your fruit will be without strength, your roots without moisture, and your branches withered." The boy immediately screamed, withered away, and died. His parents wailed as they cradled his remains and cried to Mary and Joseph, "You are responsible for the child who did this." Joseph whispered privately to Mary, "I can't speak to him, you talk to the boy. Admonish him and ask why he has to raise the people's hatred against us." Mary asked Jesus, "What did he do to bring about his death?" "He deserved death because he scattered the works that I made." "Please don't, because all men rise up against us." So he kicked the dead boy's hindquarters. "Get up, you son of iniquity. You're not worthy to rest, because you destroyed the works that I made." The dead boy got up and walked away. Jesus brought water back into the pools, took clay from them, and made 12 sparrows. One of the Jews said to Joseph, "Don't you see your child working on the Sabbath when it's not lawful?" Joseph reproved him, saying, "Why are you doing these things that aren't lawful for us?" Suddenly Jesus struck his hands together. "Fly!" At the voice of his command, the birds tilted back their beaks, spread their wings, and leapt into the earth. Go and fly through the world, through all the world, and live. Joseph trembled and started to take Jesus back home. Suddenly a boy ran up and brushed against Jesus' shoulder, hoping to humiliate him. Jesus said, "You won't come back from the way that you're going." Immediately the boy fell down dead. The dead boy's parents cried out, "Where did this child come from? Everything he says comes to pass. Take him away from this place, or at least teach him to use his power to bless, rather than curse, for our child is dead." Joseph admonished Jesus, "Why are you doing these things? Many are grieving. They hate us because of you." Jesus answered, "The words that I speak aren't mine. I'll be silent for your sake, but these people will bear their punishment." His accusers immediately became blind. Joseph was outraged. He took Jesus' ear and pulled it very hard. The child became angry and said to him, "Oh, it is bad enough for you to seek and not to find, but it's too much for you to act this foolishly. Don't you know that I'm not yours? Don't trouble me." He seized the dead boy by the ear, lifted him up from the earth in sight of all, and whispered something to him. His spirit rushed back into his body, and all of the people wondered. A certain Jewish schoolmaster named Zacchaeus began to speak against Joseph. "Don't you wish to entrust me with your son so that he can be instructed in human learning and reverence? I'll teach him all knowledge so that he won't be so rebellious." Joseph said to him, "Is there anyone who can teach him?" If you can, we won't stop you, but don't consider him to be a small cross to bear. Jesus answered, yeah, think about it. Jesus answered, what my Father said to you is true. Those who are instructed in human learning must keep the law's precepts. I was before the law. But since you think that no one is equal to you in learning, you will be taught by me. You don't know when you were born. I alone know that, and how long your life on earth will be. When you see the cross that my Father's described, you'll know that every word I've said to you is true. All who heard these words were struck with astonishment. Jesus answered, do you marvel that such things are said by a child? Because I said that I know when you and your parents were born? Well, I'll tell you greater things so that you can marvel more. I've seen Abraham, and he's seen me. Even when the world was created, I existed. They held their tongues, and none of them dared to speak. I have been among you with children, and you haven't known me. I've spoken to you like wise men, and you haven't understood me because you're younger than I am and have little faith. When the Jews heard the child say this, it made them angry. He leapt toward them and said, yes, I taunted you, because I know that you're amazed by small things and have tiny little minds. Joseph and Mary, soothing Jesus, took him to school. The teacher, Levi, said one letter to Jesus, beginning with the first letter A, and said to him, answer. But Jesus was silent. Levi was angry, seized his rod, and struck him on the head. Jesus said, why do you strike me? I already know the letters you're saying, and your learning is great. You're blind, like a clashing cymbal that can't understand its own sound. First say what Z is, and I'll tell you what A is. Those who don't know the end, how can they know the beginning, the hypocrites? When Levi heard this, he was thunderstruck. Should such a one live on the earth? He ought to be hung on the great cross. Oh God, I'm going out of my mind. A boy's beaten an old man like me because I can't find the beginning or end of what he says. It is no easy matter for a man to find his own beginning. I don't know whether he's a wizard or a god, who he is or where he comes from or who he'll turn out to be. I don't know. Jesus, smiling at him with a joyful countenance, said, let the childless bring forth fruit, and the blind see and the lame walk upright. I'm here from above to rescue those below. When the child said this, all those who'd fallen under malignant diseases were restored. From then on, nobody dared to make him angry because they didn't want to be cursed or crippled.